Now then, man cave time. Been a while. I know it's been a couple of weeks. Been all sorts of different problems. I just haven't been able to sort anything out. But this time, this has been on the cards for a while, and it's the new Himalayan. I suppose you could say it's the old versus the new. I was invited a week or so ago by Smalley Cross Royal Enfield, just outside Derby, to go for a road test. I've taken the opportunity. I was down to go yesterday, but it was absolutely heaving it down yesterday. So I rang them up, and they were quite understanding. Yeah, they didn't want their bike going out in that sort of weather anyway, really. So I went across today. Didn't do many miles on it. Only went out for half an hour. I didn't really want to push it on a dual carriageway or anything, but when I got back, they said you should have done, because it'll handle it quite. It's only done 300 miles though, for goodness sake, you know. But I went out for long enough to know that bike is a serious contender. Yeah, I mean, I've got all sorts of things I've got all sorts of different bikes on the radar, so to speak, and one of them was a CF Moto 450. If nothing else, a ride on the 450 or the 452 as it is, the Himalayan, has shown me that I don't need to bother with the CF Moto bike. If I was looking to upgrade or go for an alternative to Blizzard, it would be the new Himalayan. And to be honest with you, while I was out on the bike, I was impressed. And I talked myself into thinking that is the bike that would suit me. But then I got back on Blizzard when I got back to Smalley Cross and rode Blizzard home, and I thought, no, this bike has done everything I want to do, and it takes me where I want to go, and it does it well. Okay, it doesn't do the motorways ever so well, but once I get off the motorways, can't fault it. And I'm really looking forward to my Scottish trip later this month, and in particular Spain and Portugal in October. So, you know, things might change, but the way it is at the minute, I'm happy with Blizzard. I really am. But that 450, that 452, I should say, that's a real proposition. That's a realistic proposition, and who knows? But I like it. I certainly like it. You know. So anyway, see what you think. I'll keep it as short as I can, but see what you think, and let me know what you think. Yeah, leave it to you. Cheers for now. Bye. Well, good afternoon, everybody, on this lovely April afternoon. And where are we? Well, this has been a long time coming, to be honest. Should have been yesterday, but the weather was absolute rubbish yesterday, so I cancelled. So we're coming out to Smalley Cross Motorcycles, the second Royal Enfield dealership in the Derby area. Because I've booked a test ride on the Royal Enfield Himalayan 452. Well, some call it the 450. It's a 452 actually. And I want to know how good it is. for my own curiosity. Now obviously I'm going to be making comparisons between the new Himalayan and good old Blizzard. Now we know the 411 shortcomings. There aren't many of them, to be honest, but yes, it's a quite a low powered engine. At 24.5 brake horsepower. A little bit improved upon by the addition of a tech camshaft and such like. Free flowing air filter, all the usual sort of things. So there's Smalley Cross over the way. Smalley Cross Motorcycles. This is where I now consider to be my local dealership. And if I do buy another bike, it'll be from here. If. Right, see you in a bit. So here we are. On the 452 Himalayan. Well, initial feelings are that it feels different. The seats feel wider and the seat feels firmer, and that is probably going to be a good thing, because although the Himalayan, the 411 seat is softer, it soon sinks down to its base, and that's with extra filling in it. So the feeling is good straight away. And this is something else, the TFT, circular TFT screen. Really, really interesting. And it's got the dual purpose kill switch and starter, which is something that I like. It's been around on one or two models now for a few years. Nice, easy snick into gear. Now this is a brand new bike, so I'm not going to thrash it in any way, shape or form. I'm just keeping it out for 30-40 minutes just to get a feel for it. Oh yeah, like I said, the criticism, one of the criticisms with the 411 is that it's quite a low powered engine. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but this, I can immediately tell the difference with this. It's there. Oh, that's an interesting bit of parking for the BMW. Yeah. Let's go down here, shall we? I have to say from the word go, I don't really know my way around these lanes. I'm just having a look around. I don't propose to go on the dual carriageway. That doesn't prove anything with a bike like this. I know that it's going to be capable of higher motorway speeds. I mean, the 411, yeah, okay, you're looking at comfortably. I like to stay around 60 on motorways and dual carriageways. I know it will do around about 80-83 miles an hour, but that's not doing it any good in my opinion. You've got to be a bit sympathetic with an engine. So yeah, I can see this will probably cruise at above 70, which is something that a lot of people will be looking forward to. But it feels planted, it feels firm. One or two differences excuse me, one or two differences between this and the 411. This little screen, it does the job. It's certainly a piece to do the job up to about 50, which is where we've been up to now. It's got the TFT rev counter and digital speedo. I like the digital speedo, to be honest. You ain't making no mistakes with the digital speedo, are you? Yeah, these road closures have caught me out a little bit today. Just get used to finding your way somewhere and they close the road on you. Oops. This is the village of Horsley, and it's a nice little village. It comes over, it's got a nice feel about it, as this village. Certainly does pick up. It can pick its feet up. You can just feel it wanting to go all the time, and that is that's something that a lot of people have been looking forward to. One of the things I've not liked about it when I've read about it is the technology. It's a ride-by-wire throttle. In other words, there's no physical connection between the twist grip and the injector body. Although this is the first bike I've ridden with that sort of a setup, and you can't tell the difference, to be honest. But the way I look at things a little bit negatively when it comes to technology, and it's just something else to go wrong. Maybe shouldn't be so negative. The other thing is that the valve adjustment, or the valve clearances on these is what we call bucket and shim, which is a lot more technical, a lot more difficult to do as a DIY service. Whereas the 411 is good old screw and lock nut, which is to most of us is a piece of cake. But from what I've read, the service interval on this engine, possibly because it's water cooled, the service interval on this engine is every 10,000 kilometres, which is 6,000 miles, which is twice the mileage of the 411, because you're looking at every 3,000 miles or every 5,000 kilometres for a service with the 411. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it, really? But I'm liking it. I am liking it. One of my criticisms with the standard seat on the 411 is that the seat actually pushed me forwards, and I slid forwards into the tank because it got such a steep slope on it, steep curve on it. Whereas this is a lot flatter. The seat is a lot flatter. It's adjustable for height, which is useful. And although, as I said, the seat is firmer, quite a lot firmer than the 411, I can tell within the short distance that it is going to be a more comfortable seat. which for somebody who's doing long distance work, which is what I tend to do as often as I possibly can, that's got to be a benefit. So I can see that my problem when I hand this back is convincing myself that I don't need one. Quite honestly, I can't afford it. We know that the after sale, the second-hand value of the 411 Himalayan has dropped like a stone once a new one came out. So if I wanted to buy one of these, I would have to sell both the Himalayan and Daisy, the sidecar outfit. I don't want to do that. I still enjoy riding the outfit. It's just nicely different. It depends what I want out of my motorcycling. I didn't honestly know what I would think of the circular TFT screen. They've made it circular to try and keep it more in keeping with the classic feel. I think that's what that's all about. And I didn't know whether it would seem a bit gimmicky, but no, I quite like it, to be honest. I quite like it. Of course, another good test of the bike would be to see what it's like off-road, but I can't do that with a demonstrator, a brand new demonstrator. No, I know one or two people might do, but no, I can't. I wouldn't want to start getting into that sort of thing. Not just yet, anyway. So where are we? 3,000 revs. I'll try and bring it down to 2,000 revs. So we're in fourth gear, 2,000 revs. So we'll open it up. Where, yes, it pulls away cleanly from 2,000. I get the impression that if I was to bring it down any further, down to 1,500, then it wouldn't be kind to the engine to put it under that sort of pressure. But yeah, it certainly picks up well from 2,000 revs. And it, from what I can see, it revs out to about just short of 9,000, which is I don't know, about 1,750 revs more than the 411. Its red line. Let's go left here, get myself completely lost. The exhaust has a nice tone about it. We've been no immediate need to put an aftermarket can on it, I don't think. I think what Royal Enfield have done is they've addressed the issues that a lot of riders have raised about the 411, so there will be no need to play around with them so much. Leave well alone, in other words. And I think if I'd got one of these, I think I would indeed leave well alone. Let's go have a look down here, shall we? Through Wayne Groves. Oof. yes, the engine feels totally different. So much more flexible. It's over 40 brake horsepower is this engine, compared to the 24.5 of the 411. So it's going to be noticeable, obviously. Tell you what, let's have a look on gear. Wonder where this goes to. Give me an opportunity to stand on the pegs over the potholes, and I know what the difference is now. I'd forgotten that with my 411 I'd put risers on the handlebars, so my handlebars are probably, well, it's short-lived, but it was enough to prove a point. Yes, I would probably. It does look as if risers would be able to be fitted to these handlebars, so I think that's what I'd do. I think we'll head back towards base just to put us in the right area. I think if I decide that that the 452 is the way to go, then I would want a longer test ride, to be honest. I'd want to see for myself just how good it is on the dual carriageway. But I have to say, I'm impressed with the little screen. One occasion when small is definitely better. Well, certainly feels that way. So we're doing 45 miles an hour, and that was a little bit of turbulence, but it wasn't so much turbulence as wind rush. There is a difference. Oh yes. Quite capable of picking its feet up where necessary. Bit of evidence of the mining history of this area. So we'll take a right at this roundabout. That should put us somewhere near where we need to be. See, one of the big improvements from my point of view is moving up from a 5-speed box, 5-speed gearbox, to a 6-speed. I think it was a mistake giving the 411 a 5-speed box, given that it was obvious that the bike was going to be used off-road to a certain extent, and that's by giving it a 6-speed box, they'd have been able to bring the bottom gear a little bit lower to make it more flexible off-road, if you like, and raise the top gear so that you've got maybe a few more miles per hour to use on the motorways and dual carriageways. I think the 6-speed box would have solved a lot of potential, I won't say problems, maybe disappointments to a certain extent. But this 6-speed box, it is absolutely sweet as a nut, as gearboxes go. So smooth. It should be with it being a new bike, obviously, but it is. It's very smooth. The clutch is very light. It's well equipped. Upside down front forks from Shower. Still only a single disc front end, but it doesn't need twin disc. It really doesn't. Fairly sure it's a lighter bike. It certainly feels lighter than the 411. If anything, it trickles along at walking speed better than the 411. So yeah, it's more tractable from what I can feel anyway. Mirrors are okay. Fairly broad shouldered, and I can see more past my my upper arms on this with the standard mirror fitting than I could with the 411. I had to put extenders on that so I got a decent view behind me, so that's an improvement as well. I didn't check what tyres are on it, whether they got the Seats on that that they've always fitted to the 411. Well, what do you know? We found a way back. That's more by luck than judgment, I can tell you. Well, it's done 357 miles. And there's Blizzard. Feeling dejected, no doubt. I am impressed. I have to be honest, I am impressed. I want to get a photograph, so I'll do a little bit of shunting around. Side stands in a slightly different position, and yes, it leans over more on the side stand than the 411, and that was a criticism. It is a fine looking bike. It's got better tyres on as standard. Oh no, the 17 inch, I don't know, I was listening to it, told me they're 18 inch, but they're 17, 140 by 80, so they're wider tyres anyway. Certainly more purposeful looking tyre. Seat grip. So there we are. The older the new. That is a mighty fine motorbike. Water cooled, double overhead camshaft, 452 as against the air cooled single overhead camshaft 411. So much more technology, so much more gone into this. They've addressed Royal Enfield have addressed pretty much everything. All the criticism that had levelled at them over the 411. The width of the tank, when I sat on it at the bike show, I thought it was starting to get a little bit bulbous, but I didn't notice any problem at all. I'm impressed. Let's leave it at that. I'm impressed. Thanks for watching. So, On reflection, in conclusion, taking everything into consideration, I've ridden back from Smalley Cross on Blizzard. I feel guilty. I feel truly guilty that I should even consider moving on. No, in all honesty, as soon as I got a few yards down the road back on Blizzard, I feel comfortable. I feel more comfortable overall on Blizzard. I feel more part of things. Trying to put it over in a way that makes sense. On the 452, the new Himalayan, I felt I wasn't really part of the bike. I was sitting on it, I wasn't sitting in it. Yes, it's got bags more poke, lots of good points, but I think I've just become so comfortable with this old 411. I wouldn't say no to a 452, but I would want to keep the 411 as well. And the only way that's ever going to happen is if I come to sell Daisy, the sidecar outfit. I don't want to sell Daisy. It's taken me a long time to get back onto three wheels, and I do enjoy it. Sounds a bit strange, I know, but I do enjoy it. Admittedly, I didn't get a chance to try the 452 properly off-road as we are doing at the minute. I couldn't come all the way out here without including at least one of our regular lanes. So I think what I'm trying to say is, in a way, if it ain't broke, don't mend it. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I tried it on the dual carriageway when I took it back, and I said I didn't want to go on the dual carriageway because it's not running yet. And the guy said, you should have gone. he said I've sat at 75 on the dual carriageway on it, and it's in 5th gear instead of 6th, and it's had plenty to go at. So, but that wasn't the idea. That wasn't what I wanted to try it for. I wanted to try it for as a general purpose ride, if you like. Whether it's going to be usable as a touring bike, a proper touring bike. Yes, this little thing has its limitations, but anybody who's watched my videos, particularly my Spanish videos, it hasn't prevented me from going to the places I wanted to. In fact, if anything, it's helped me to see the places I've always wanted to see and ride. So, for the moment, Blizzard, you're stuck with me. Okay, that's enough for that now. Alright, as I said before, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I do expect people to drop me a comment, particularly on this one, because I know people have been waiting to see test rides on the 452, and they're genuinely interested in the findings. So yeah, drop me a comment, ask me what I truly think. I'm hoping it's come over what I truly think. Mixed feelings at first, but no, this'll do. Thanks a lot. I'll see you at the next one. Cheers for now.